Hey guys, it's Fanya and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 books that I wish I could read for the first time again because to experience the emotions that I felt while reading these books for the first time again, I don't think I can ever feel that way again. So let's just go straight into the books. The first book that I really wish I could read for the first time again is the Shatter Me series. I think I read this series like back in 2023 after a few months of like reading consistently again. The Shatter Me series will always have like a special place in my heart because of that reason, but also the story, the characters. I feel like now that I finished like the 11 books, I think, that are in that series, including the novellas, I feel like I was a part of them. Even though, of course, I don't have any powers, but I feel like I was there with them, witnessing all of the scenes that are happening. To feel how I feel when I first read this series, I don't think anyone can ever match up to that. The second one is another series, which is the Natural series. Now, this one, I think I also read it like in a similar timeline, maybe like 2 months apart. But the Natural series is, I think, another favorite series because I've read the Inheritance games before reading the Natural series, but I think the Natural series like hits way harder for me than the Inheritance game series. I think because of like the plot, it is way more interesting. It feels like you're also solving like the crimes with all of these teenagers, and the way Jennifer Lynn Barnes wrote, it's like you get immersed into the world. So reading the Natural series just brings back those feelings of like being there in the book. Like when everyone says they need an escapism into books, this is like what they need. Reading something that immediately transport you to another world. If you need some serious recommendations that are so mind-blowingly good that it keeps you invested throughout the books, I highly recommend the Shadow Me series and the Natural series. The third book is Babel by R.F. Kuang. This is the first book by R.F. Kuang that I've read, and I immediately just love it. I feel like from the first chapter to like maybe 10% of the book, it was really slow, but I know I don't want to like DNF it because the way R.F. Kuang writes her books is just so captivating that I want to read more, even though it's so slow. Like I can feel that it was just like her setting up like the scene leading towards like the conflict. It talks about colonialism, talks about languages, and I feel like as someone from a country that has been colonized before, this really hits hard because it talks about languages and how your native languages are like so important. Like for you to retain your own native languages are so important. And so I really like the topic because in the first place I really like languages and learning languages. So I feel like when I was reading it, like I can relate to the main character so much because of that. If I could read this book for the first time again, I would. And I am 100% sure I would absolutely love it again and again. That is a really long explanation on why I love Babel by R.F. Kuang, but I'm so excited to read more of her books. I know Kata Basis is coming out this year, so I'm so excited for that because the premise of that one is so good as well. Like imagine two PhD students trying to get a recommendation letter from their supervisor, but their supervisor has died and they have to literally go to hell to save the soul of their supervisor just to get those recommendation letters. I'm so excited for that book to come out this year. The fourth book is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I fear you cannot click on a recommendation video from me that doesn't mention Emily Henry because I freaking love her as an author, as a writer. I have so much respect for her of how she can write her books. Like every single book just hits. So yeah. But Happy Place is a second chance romance. Harriet and Win used to be engaged, but they broke it off, and now it's been like few months. They have to come together again, pretending to still be engaged because their friends didn't know that they broke up. I have a reading vlog of me reading Happy Place because that was like one of the first books that I bought in physical form here in the UK. I've also reread the book and annotated for one of my friends in the United States. And the second time I read that book, I love it even more. I still cried reading that book, even though it was my second time. But if I could read this book for the first time again, I would 100%. And the last book that I really wish I could read for the first time again is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Payne. I think that was the book that I was like, I read it on my phone on ebook, and it immediately made me want to like have a physical copy so that I could like annotate it. It was just so cute. It gives all of the rom-com vibes. It's about Wes and Liz. They are neighbors since they were little, and now that I think they're in high school now, and one of their old friends came back to town. Liz had a crush on him, so Liz is trying to get close to him by asking Wes for his help. About their story. It has a second book, nothing like the movies, but I do think that reading just Better Than the Movies is perfectly okay. You don't really need to read the sequel because, as someone who has read the sequel, it broke my heart, puts it back together again. The story was already like perfect, even just with the first book. If you do like some more Wes and Liz content, then go ahead and read Nothing Like the Movies. But I do think that Better Than the Movies is just already perfect as a standalone. Even without the sequels, it would already be perfect, and I would still want to read it for the first time again. Those are the books that I really wish I could read for the first time again if I could, but I know I couldn't. If you haven't read any of these books, please read it and let me know what you think of it. Thanks for watching. I really hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do have any suggestions on what video I should do next, or like any video ideas that you would like to see from my channel, comment them down below. And as always, I have a Bookstagram if you want to check that out, where I post like full on reviews for all of the books that I've mentioned in my videos. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. Bye!